let me put it to you like this. Gaming is not a sport. Okay, I don't care what you e-athletes say. Gaming is not a sport. And I'm gonna tell you why. I've got evidence. I've got more evidence than the Jodi Arias prosecution team. Watch this shit. Let's start off with some basic definitions. This is a dictionary. Okay, there are words in it. You have to read to understand and comprehend this comprehensive list of words that comprise the English language. Now, I had to beat up a high school kid on the way home today to pick one of these up because I wasn't going to pay for it, obviously. And, you know, the typical kid that actually plays sports in real life doesn't read these things. So let's look up the word sport, okay? There we go. An activity involving physical exertion and skill governed by rules or customs and often undertaken competitively. Oh my. Physical. Key words there. Physical exertion, okay? Now I understand some of you e-athletes or whatever the fuck you're calling yourselves nowadays, you might misconstrue that as, I don't know, sitting around breathing laboriously, inhaling a donut, playing free-for-all in Nuketown. It's not that! I promise you it's not that. Physical exertion. Let's look up that definition. Exertion, the act or an instance of exerting, especially a strenuous effort. Physical, of or relating to the body as distinguished from the mind or spirit. Distinguished from the mind or spirit, as indifferent from the mind or spirit. Number 2, involving or marked by vigorous bodily activity, aka exercise. Now you put those two words together and you get physical exertion, the complete antithesis of playing Call of Duty for hours on end to improve your digital kill death ratio just to make up for your lack of vagina. Okay? That's not physical exertion. Athlete, a person possessing the natural or acquired traits necessary for physical exercise or sports, especially those performed in competitive contexts. E-athletes, get pooped on! Get pooped on! Get pooped on! Me flipping through that dictionary to find those words required more physical exertion than you sitting around playing Call of Duty in a fucking tournament or any other first-person shooter. And the funny thing is, you don't see me rushing out to buy a fucking jug of performance-enhancing caffeine and streaming it on the web, okay? You know why? Because it's not a fucking sport. E-athletes, let me ask you one question, alright? This guy right here, would you call him an athlete? What about this guy right here? How the hell is that equivalent? Nigga, please. One of those guys is the greatest professional basketball player of all time, hands down, without question, irrefutable. The other guy gets winded climbing up a flight of steps. Here's a truth that you're too scared to admit. There's no such thing as an e-athlete. Alright? It's called being a gamer. And the problem occurs when gamers and those who support gaming, they feel the need to somehow legitimize gaming, as though gaming in and of itself is somehow shameful or childish. And then these guys figure, hey, let's just throw a bunch of corporate sponsors in the way, okay, let's just get them to financially back this hobby. That's what it is, hobby, gaming is a hobby. And then we get a bunch of internet celebrities to sing its praises, and hey, now we've got a sport. It does not qualify. And then you can apply this principle to other games too. Like, take for example, poker. Okay? Poker does not belong on ESPN. It's not a sport. It's a hobby. It's a game. It's a game. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, nobody's gonna tune into a fucking channel called the Hobby Channel or the Games Channel. Nobody gives a fuck about that. They'll tune in for sports though. They're okay with that. Chess, checkers, Candyland, Battleship, and video games. They're all hobbies, they're all games, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Your hands executing your mind's commands. Stressful? Yeah, I can buy that. I could get behind that. Yeah, video gaming can be stressful, especially in a tournament situation. But physically strenuous? Please. Here's another truth you're too scared to admit. Nobody is gonna find gaming clips on an ESPN highlight show. Okay? No chick is gonna look at you and think you're hot because you're an e-athlete when you look like an Ethiopian kid or you look like a dude who's been to one too many Golden Corral buffets. It's not gonna happen, bucko. Look, there's nothing wrong with gaming, alright? It's there to entertain you. It's there to pass the time, alright? I do it myself from time to time. But the thing of it is, I would never be so presumptuous to think that it's a sport. Get out of here, kid! Get out of here! You will never see me pounding fucking Gamma Labs to increase my focus and concentration. You know what? Mountain Dew is just fine, and it's 20 ounces, and it's fucking $50 cheaper. Alright? That's just the way it is. You don't have to add the word sport next to it. What's next to be considered a sport? Competitive stamp collecting? Combative horse dick blowing? You know what, if we're gonna say video games are a sport, where the fuck is my Scrabble in all of this? Huh? Huh? Jenga, motherfucker. But you know what's gonna happen within the next 50 years or so? I can already see this in my crystal ball. It's gonna happen just like this. The video gamers and the guys who support video gaming as a sport, which it really isn't, they're gonna buy their way into the Olympics. It's gonna happen. Once it's an Olympic event, it'll be officially recognized as a sport. And they'll sing, they'll dance, and they'll rejoice. But they probably won't be able to keep up their dance for very long because they don't have the cardiovascular endurance, because they're not really athletes. And deep down inside, they're gonna realize they're not really athletes. And all they are is an illusion that they bought into. But the rest of us will fucking know the truth. I got a phone call, I gotta go.